afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to be reading to you from Exodus chapter 12, verses 5 through 13. So starting at verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male lamb of the first year. You shall take it from the sheep or from the goats. Now you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. Then the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it at twilight. And they shall take some of the blood and put it on the two doorposts and on the lintel of their houses where they eat it. Then they shall eat the flesh on that night, roasted in fire with unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Do not eat it raw or boiled at all with water, but roasted in fire. Its head, with its legs and its entrails, you shall let none of it remain until morning. And what remains of it until morning you shall burn with fire. And thus you shall eat it, with belt on your waist, sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. You shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night, and will strike down the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. Now the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be on you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. Something so beautiful about this passage of Scripture is that it foreshadows what Christ does for us. Because as long as we have His blood on the doorposts and on the lintels of our hearts, we are made righteous through His sacrifice. And it is just so beautiful. All right, let's get started. What I got here today is a New Zealand grass-fed boneless leg of lamb, and we are going to be roasting it. All right, let me show you what to do. So what I'm going to be doing with the lamb is actually very similar to what I did in my prime rib video. But instead of beef base, I'm actually going to be using my mustard as a binder. So we just need the good old, how do you do that? Grey Poupon, Dijon mustard. And then good old JB's, we're going to go on with the rock quarry, one of my all-time favorites. And then we're just going to add some mint in there. All right, I'm going to have to roll up my sleeves a little bit for this one. All right, let's get it all put on there. Okay, so first, the seasoning. Just want to make sure it's well seasoned. And then we're going to go on with some mustard. And I hear this kind of helps tame a little bit of the gaminess that lamb can sometimes have. Get that rubbed on there. And then we're going to take our mint and we're just going to stick it up underneath the netting around our lamb. Okay, so I got my oven preheated to 500 degrees. And my lamb is about 4 pounds, so I'm gonna do 5 minutes for every pound. So I'm gonna put mine in for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna just shut the oven off and leave it in there for 2 hours. And then while it's in the oven, I'm gonna show you guys how to make just a quick ziti sauce to go with it. All right, here we go. All right, in we go, 20 minutes with convection. All right, let's make some ziti. All right, what you're gonna need is some plain Greek yogurt, minced garlic, dill. I just picked up some Greek seasoning, a cucumber, and then I forgot to get a lemon or lemon juice, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of lime, but lemon would be preferred. All right, let's make it up. Cucumber. We might not use the whole cucumber, just need enough for this amount of yogurt. We're just looking to make small chunks. You can use a food processor if you'd like, if that makes it easier for you. Just adding some of the smaller chunks to our bowl. And then whatever you got left over, you can just set aside and use for whatever you wish. just going in with this entire container of Greek yogurt. Make that 2 Greek yogurts. Some of our Greek seasoning. A little bit of minced garlic. A little squeeze of, I have lime juice, preferably lemon juice. And then we are just going to add some dill. Let's get that whisked up. I'll add just a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. And you can also play around with this. So if you need a little bit more lemon juice, a little bit more dill, a little bit more salt, pepper, garlic, whatever you might need to kind of mess with and get it to the flavor that you're looking for, just go with that. But that's kind of the general gist that I do, and it works out pretty good. All right, let's get it out of the oven. Okay, and I'm just letting her rest here for a few minutes, probably about 10 minutes or so. All right, let's give this a try. And it was falling apart when I was plating it, so it must be pretty good. Some ziti. Oh yeah. Especially for being a leg, it's just falling apart. And it is pretty mild. It's not so gamey. Especially for Passover or Resurrection Day, it's going to be a hit. All right, y'all have a good one. And God bless you.